Hello, my friends. I'm going to start by talking about next week, because next Tuesday when you come in, there will be map testing. It'll follow the same structure as the ELA and math exams did, where you report to a location by class period. You have approximately an hour for map testing, and then the rest of the day will be a condensed schedule. The next thing coming up, independent reading. I do believe we're going to stay in the hybrid environment based on COVID numbers. So for your remote days for the remainder of the year, you'll have independent reading options. So Tuesday, we'll also visit the library. Independent reading resources are on Schoology, and I'm going to show you this assignment page. If you would prefer to not get a book from the library and just still have remote assignments, you can read the first page of multiple books and answer text-based questions. Each remote day, you would have a new first page of a book to read and answer text-based questions. I'm hoping that most people, though, on Tuesday will elect to get a book from the library. And then your task is prove you read it. Prove you read it and learn something from it. Whether you write a book report, do a flip grid, do something more creative, whatever you'd like. It's up to you. The other piece with this is if you're one of those people, it's like, I have a book at home I'm going to read, or I'm already reading it. Bring it on Tuesday. Otherwise, I'm going to have you do the first task of this first pages assignment, because I've had a lot of people say, I have a book at home or I'm reading a book, and then they never have it for 2 weeks. So your options are bring a book, be ready to read it, get a book from the library, and then you prove that you've read it, prove what you learned from it, or you read the first page of a different book each remote day, and each day answer text-based questions. That is how we'll finish out our remote days for the remainder of the year. The next thing, because there's your introduction to independent reading, we won't get to discuss the end of night because I'm not there. However, with the end of book close read, do it with a partner so you can talk about it. What that looks like is a question about the death of Ellie's father. There's some explanation here, and there are pages from the second to last section and the last section of the book, because the book is broken into 9 sections. I just had you do it in 6 readings, where Ellie wakes up and his father is gone, and then he talks about the time remaining in the concentration camp without his father. Answer this question about how the death of his father affects him. At least 2 ways it affects him, because it is complex. And take a look here. You then have a question about how the book ends, where he sees himself as a corpse in the mirror. 2 questions about why he sees himself as a corpse and sees himself as something different. And then the motif that fits this moment best. Is it powerlessness or is it dehumanization? What does it prove? What does it show? The last question has to do with a famous speech given by Elie Wiesel called The Perils of Indifference. Indifference being a lack of interest, lack of concern, lack of sympathy. Perils being danger. So he's saying it's dangerous to lack any concern, any interest or sympathy. Your question is, why is it so dangerous? If it's in the title, that's what he talks about here, why is it so dangerous? Whether you want to explain it directly, or he will compare, in this clip, he'll compare it to hatred. This is originally over a 20-minute speech. This clip is only about 2 minutes. So that, do it with a partner so you can discuss a little bit, close the book out, those final events that happened to him. The last thing would be to start the theme and evidence page. For that, copy the revised version of your theme from Wednesday's Zoom assignment. For some of you, it was all set, and if you don't see any comments on it, copy it. If it needs to be revised, revise it and copy it here. What that looks like is this page you had to upload. You will see comments if you needed to make revisions. If you don't see comments, you're set to copy it over, and you can copy it from here into this location. We will draft this essay over the coming weeks. It is a process piece, not on demand like the previous writing you did. If you are able to get this revised theme in here and you still have time, start looking for evidence of the different motifs. If your theme is about dehumanization and faith, evidence about dehumanization, evidence about faith. If your theme is about powerlessness and relationships, evidence about powerlessness, evidence about relationships. Do what you can on this. It'll be an ongoing assignment, but at least get your theme in there, make any revisions, make it clear. If you're absent on Wednesday, go back and do the assignment.